Alright guys, just San here, back for another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle video, and today we're going to be doing a showcase on the Dokkan Fest Captain Ginyu. Now this guy is one of the better aging TURs, but I still do want to do a showcase on him because I want to start going over all of the original 200% leads, and of course this guy was one of the first 200% leads to release, so I do want to do a showcase on him. And then, of course, we will eventually get to, like, the Int Majin Vegeta. We'll do Raditz, which I'm sure the Raditz showcase will be, that'll be interesting. But there are a couple I'll probably skip over just because I already did showcases on them somewhat recently. Like, of course, the 7th year anniversary units, the Tech Pan, and then the Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan Goku, and Vegeta. I already did showcases on them within the last month or two, so I don't think I'll do a showcase on them, but again, people like the Int Majin Vegeta, the Physical Raditz, the AGL Cell, the STR Goku that exchanges into Gohan. I'll check them all out and revisit them, but yeah, we're going to be looking at the Captain Ginyu, and he is under a full 200% leader skill. He does give himself that, and I mean, as you can see, I'm just rocking a full Ginyu Force team. Like, that's pretty much all you need to do with this guy, and then he'll be crazy. We do have a ton of support, though, because the Ginyu Force team does give a lot of support. But you do have to keep in mind that all of these units are very good, so you can bring them in difficult events. I think maybe the Physical Raccoon is probably the worst on the team, but if you get his guard off, then you're fine. But yeah, this is the team we're going to be running him on, so before we get into it, just make sure you guys like and subscribe. Keep in mind there are timestamps in the video, so if you want to skip around to the Red Zone test or the Cell Max test, I guess it all depends where I bring him, then absolutely feel free to do that. And I mean, yeah, without further ado, let's get into this guy's kit. So starting off with his leader skill, it is Terrifying Conquerors or Planet Namek Saga, category Ki +3, and then 170% HP attack and defense, and then he gives the 30% HP attack and defense to Space Traveling Warriors. So this was pretty much the first, like, extreme class 200% leader skill we got. So this guy, for a while, covered most of the extreme class units and gave them a 200% leader skill. So this guy was really useful then, and even now his 200% is really useful. Most of the freezes and the coolers are all on Terrifying Conquerors and are also on Space Traveling Warriors, so he is giving a lot of them the 200% leader skill. And he does also have Planet Namek Saga in his lead, so of course that makes it to where you can even run some super class units on his team, which I don't really suggest because you kind of have to run him with extreme class units, but I guess it just depends on how you have the team built. But getting into this guy's super attack effect, he raises defense and causes immense damage to enemies, so he is stacking defense. That is a 30% infinite increase. That is extremely useful because you go full additionals with this guy, and I mean, you're going to start getting to some really crazy levels of defense pretty quickly. Especially because this guy is AGL, so he does have the base 5 additionals, so even at 55%, technically you could still triple super with this guy, and I do think he could be really crazy. But getting into this guy's passive, he starts off with 180% attack and defense. He gets an additional 50% attack when performing a super attack. He launches an additional attack that has a medium chance of becoming a super. And then he gets an additional attack and defense plus 10% per Ginyu Force category ally on the team, up to 50%. He gives Ginyu Force allies 30% attack and defense. And then he gets attacks effective against all types when there's another Ginyu Force category ally on the team. So not only is he a support, he has built-in additionals, he's stacking, and this guy's just going to be doing a ton of damage. And he's also effective against all types. I forgot to mention that too. I mean, as long as you got Ginyu Force units on the team with him, which of course we do have on the team with him, as I said, then you're going to be looking really crazy with him because you build up to that extra 50% attack and defense, you get the super effective against all types, you're supporting, and he just starts to get really crazy. So for sure, I think this guy's going to be crazy, especially if you take him in long events where he has a chance to stack, of course. Then this guy's defense is going to get, it's going to get really good. So yeah, that is the passive of the Ginyu. His active skill condition is fairly easy. I wouldn't say it's anything too difficult. I don't think you're going to be able to get this in like Super Battle Road, but in difficult events like Red Zone, the Cell Max event, the Legendary events, you should have a pretty easy time getting this. So the condition is that it can be activated when HP is 70% or less, starting from the 4th turn from start of battle, once only. And then, of course, the effect is that he does the body change with Goku. And, alright, this guy's super attack effect when he transforms, or when he body exchanges, is that he raises attack infinitely. So that's a 30% attack increase just throughout the whole fight that you're in. And then he causes immense damage to enemy. So, I mean, not really too much. He's just stacking attack, but that's still pretty useful. And then, okay, long passive here. So he recovers 59% HP. So that is extremely useful just in and of itself, because that's a really high percent of HP recovery. And then he gets 200% attack and defense. He gets an additional attack plus 50% when performing a super attack. He launches an additional attack that is a medium chance of becoming a super attack. And then he gets an additional attack and defense plus 10%, up to 50%. And chance of performing a critical hit, chance of evading enemies' attack, including super attack, up to 50% with each attack performed. So basically, he just gets additionals, crits, and chance to dodge with each attack performed up to 50%, which, I mean, that's extremely useful. That's another reason you're going to want to go full additionals with this guy, is so you can get that built up as soon as possible. And then he does also have a high chance of foreseeing enemy super attack when there's an ally whose name includes Jace on the team. That's not really too, I guess, easy to get off, because the really only other Jace you could run on the team would be but it would be the extreme, this Jace right here, the free-to-play extreme Jace. Now, I don't really think that this guy's that good, so you can't really bring him in difficult content, but maybe if we get another Jace down the line that is really good, it could help you utilize that scouter effect a lot more. But I'm not bringing a Jace on the team. I might bring him in like the red zone test, depending on where I bring him. But just keep in mind that he could still have that high chance to see enemies attack. But then we'll go over his links and categories really quick, and then we'll hop into the Vegeta event. But yeah, his links are Frieza's Army, Gentleman, Respect, the Ginyu Force, Loyalty, Signature Pose, and Fierce Battle. Not really the craziest link set. Of course, he's going to work well with Ginyu Force units, but you do have to keep in mind that Loyalty does give him 5% damage reduction. So, I mean, that's going to help him work out a little bit better, or just help him work a little bit better on some of these teams, because if you start to get some crazy levels of defense with 5% damage reduction, that really does make a difference. So, in terms of links, pretty good, I guess. I mean, he'll work well with a lot of the units on his teams. For his categories, he has Terrifying Conquerors, Planet Namek Saga, Space Traveling Warriors, Ginyu Force, Dragon Ball Seekers, Special Pose, and Corroded Body and Mind. Not the craziest teams, but of course, Terrifying Conquerors, Space Traveling Warriors, and the Ginyu Force are probably his best teams. So, yeah, with all that said, let's go ahead and hop into the Legendary Vegeta event. Okay, so we are here in the Legendary Vegeta event, and we're starting off with the amazing rotation. We're going to have 6 out of 7 links active, so we're only missing the Gentleman, which I don't think that's that big of a link. Oh, no, not you. I think that's only a little bit of attack, if I'm not mistaken. No, it's actually a little bit of defense. Okay, so we are missing 10% defense right here. So with the Gentleman, we would be over 300k. That's pretty impressive considering it's turn 1, and obviously he's a stacking unit. But I guess you do have to keep in mind that the support on this rotation is pretty crazy. We have double support, so for sure, there's a lot of it. But, I mean, these are good units. You can run these guys in difficult events, especially the Birder and Jace right here, because they have that high chance to dodge. And then, of course, they build up to some good levels of attack and defense. And then, well, I mean, I say that, and then they hit a 2.7 million attack stat, but they can get to some good levels of defense, at least. I'll say that. But, yeah, of course, the Ginyu Force team is just really crazy. So, it for sure does get really crazy once you start adding a lot of these hard-hitting units, especially the Guldo and Raccoon. They're still probably one of the best banner units in the game. But alright, a 7.7 million attack stat. So, I mean, that's really good considering it's effective against all types, and we could have had 2 additionals following. So, I mean, that is really good. You do got to keep in mind as well he's stacking, so of course he's just going to get better and better. But, alright, right here, we do have another Ginyu. I guess that's the good thing about him being the lead, is that we can have 2 rotations of him. So, right here, we're going to have 5 out of 7 links active. So, we're missing Respect now, which, let me just check what that gives really quick, just to make sure. So, that is a 20% attack buff, and we are losing a little bit of support right here. So, we're not really going to be looking as good as the previous rotation. But I guess this is more of a realistic turn. So, you know, we'll see how good he's looking here. But, of course, still, we were a little over 200k defense, which isn't horrible. And we hit a 5.7 million attack stat. I mean, I'll take it. Right here, hopefully we can showcase him doing his additionals, because he does have them built in. Yeah, okay, we did get the additional. So, an additional for 5.7 million damage. And, of course, both of these are effective against all types, and just gradually increasing his defense. So, I mean, pretty good so far. I gotta say, pretty good showing. He's looking good. Nothing too crazy, but, oh, well, actually, that is really good. 444k defense on turn 3. That is actually pretty good, because we've only gotten 1 super with this guy, I think. So, yeah, we only got 1 super because he killed the enemy. So, I mean, yeah, that's really good. We are going to have 7 out of 7 links active. Okay. So, really good rotation right here. Hopefully, we can get lucky with additionals, because if we get, like, 3 supers on the next rotation with him, we're probably going to be, like, 600, 700k defense, which is pretty crazy to think about, but... All right, we didn't dodge right there, unfortunately. But they hit a 3.6 million attack stat. Yeah, I mean, the thing with the Birder and Jace is you kind of have to make sure that they dodge, or you bring them in an event where they can dodge, because you can't really bring them in like Broly. They'll probably just get destroyed because they obviously don't have the dodge, and I don't really think their defense gets to like crazy high. I mean, you might be able to tank double digits from Broly's normals if you get like 3 supers, which you could do. But of course, that's only if you get extremely lucky. So I was busy blabbering away there, but he hit like over an 8 million attack stat, which is really crazy. That is a lot of damage for turn 3. But this Ginyu is at 411k defense. For sure, pretty good. He got a couple of additionals on the previous rotation, so his defense is looking pretty good right there. And right here, I think we'll probably kill, because Ginyu will just do so much damage. If he gets additionals, I guess I gotta consider that. He might just get like 1 super and that's it. Which, knowing my luck, that's possible. Well, no, that Ginyu crit, and he got an additional. Okay. So, actually, we will probably kill right here, but let's see what Ginyu's attack stat is looking like. So, a 7 million, pretty much 7 million on the dot. Yeah, that's good. Nothing... Well, I mean, actually, that is pretty good considering he has additionals built in, and it is effective against all types. So, I mean, that is really good. That is pretty much going to be his level of attack throughout the run, not including when he's transformed, of course. He's just going to hit around a 7-8 million attack stat, which, with his additionals he has built in, if you build him with a little bit of crit, too, he could, of course, get some crits off, which I don't really suggest you give him too much crit. Of course, as I said, you do want to give him mostly additionals, but in this private server, I can't really control his build, so he does have 20 additional and 6 crit. But, I mean, still, really good showing. Right here, we're going to have 5 out of 7 links active, and I want to take some damage so I can transform with him, but I feel like that's going to be kind of difficult just because how good this team is. So, I guess maybe on the next rotation, we can try and have the Tech Ginyu Force, have them get supered from this enemy, of course, because he has type disadvantage, and then we'll take some damage. Yeah, or the Birder and Jace can take some damage. That was more damage than I thought it would be. I don't think that's gonna... Yeah, that would set us under 70% HP. So yeah, as long as we don't heal, we can get the transformation on this next rotation. But a 6.7 million attacks, or 6.4 million attacks. Sorry. I mean, yeah, pretty good. Not anything like, it's not blowing me away necessarily, but that's pretty good. For sure, that is still pretty good, even by today's standards, considering he's got the additionals, he's super effective against all types. Okay, we got the 3 supers, so that is crazy, actually. Now we're doing really good damage. 3 attack stats, all over 6 million, and all of them were effective against all types. That is really good. So, on the next rotation with him, actually, he's going to be crazy high in terms of his defense. So, yeah, that'll be cool to see. But, all right, right here, we should be able to transform with him. Yeah, there we go. So I'm going to go ahead and play this. Let me make sure I don't have this skip on. No, I don't. Let's check his defense before he transforms. So 515k. I mean, for turn 6, yeah, that's pretty good. Let's go ahead and pop this. Alright, I mean, yeah, that looked pretty clean. I can't say I like the way that looked. The animation for it was for sure pretty good. But, yeah, so right here, we're going to have 5 out of 7 links active. We, again, have double support. And start of turn, our defense dropped just a little. But you do have to keep in mind, we build up to the additional 50% attack and defense. So, of course, you know, our stats are just going to look better. Is he still going to have 5 out of 7 links? Yeah, he is still going to have 5 out of 7 links in slot 1. So we're going to put him there, and I don't think we're going to die here. I don't think the Ginyu, I don't think any of the Ginyus. I got to be more specific because this is literally a whole rotation of Ginyus. Would take enough damage to die, but All right, a 5.5 million attack stat. Now, his attack stat did drop a little as well, but you do have to keep in mind we have the additional still built in, which we can get 3 of, and we do build up crit chance and attack. So, oh, and we're stacking attack, actually, so our attack is just gonna, it's gonna get up there the more supers we do. So, we did get the double super right there. Unfortunately, we only got the hidden potential system normal, but we are taking the super. So how much damage is this going to do? Double digits, okay. I mean, we're not fully built up, and we still are at double digits. Now, I know this Vegeta doesn't really hit that hard, but, I mean, still, double digits from this Vegeta not fully built up that's something, right? I would say that does account for something. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'll show the Ginyu's defense on this up-and-coming rotation, and then I'm probably going to cut to the very end of the fight when I have the transformed Ginyu, or the body change Ginyu, fully built up, and then I have the AGL Ginyu, or the normal Ginyu, not transformed. I don't know why I said AGL. When I have him with a little bit more stacks. So, all right, almost 700k defense, and keep in mind, I don't think the Guldo and the Guldo and Raccoon, sorry, there's a lot of Ginyu Force names. Yeah, they're not supporting. So right here, he only has the support from the Burner and Jace, which is a lot, but still really good at defensive stat right there. So, all right, I'm going to go ahead and cut to when we are a little bit later in this event. Okay, so we are here on turn 10 in the Legendary Vegeta event, and, I mean, yeah, we've done some attacks with him, so we're up to 730k defense. Now, that is really good considering the dodge chance he has, the additionals, the crits, all that. He can't dodge, technically, in this phase right here, so he won't be getting of those off. But just keep in mind, he does still have the dodge chance. But, yeah, 730k defense, really good. We're going to have all 7 links active. And, unfortunately, we're probably going to end up killing, so I don't think we'll be able to showcase the Ginyu on the next rotation. But that's okay. I'll still take him in the red zone stage, and we'll stack up a bunch with him to see how good he'll look in there. But I am going to nuke right here just to see how much damage the body change Ginyu can do. Yeah, we got pretty lucky with key spheres. We got 11, so okay. I mean, that's enough at least, right? 11 key spheres should still be a pretty crazy attack stat. So, yeah, we're obviously going to kill right here. I figured we'd probably kill even if we didn't nuke. But, I mean, yeah, let's just see what attack stat he's looking at, because we are nuking with him. We did the World Tournament item. I'm pretty sure we're fully built up right here. I'm positive. If we're not fully built up, we're at least like 1 away from being fully built up, or 10% buff from being fully built up. So our attack stat is 17.5. Okay, I mean, of course, this doesn't contribute to his performance because this was a turn we used an item, but we did get the crit for 9.5 million damage. So I'm going to go ahead and cut to when I have him when I have the Ginyu in a difficult event. I know this might seem a little cheap, but I think I'm going to take him versus Cell Max. Because if we can get this guy taken double digits from Cell Max, that's impressive. Because he has type disadvantage against one of the hardest hitting enemies in the game. So let's go ahead and cut to that. Okay, so we are here in the Cell Max event. And, I mean, turn 1, we at least got some pretty solid rotations. We're going to have the one Ginyu on one rotation and then another Ginyu on the other. So, yeah, that is pretty good. But I do think we're probably going to kill right here. So I'm a little worried the Captain Ginyu won't be able to stack that much. So this might be a little difficult. I might have to take him in another red zone stage or another difficult event if he doesn't really fare up well in here. Yeah, I mean, look at that. Wow, 13 million though. That's a lot of damage. I mean, of course we have type advantage, but still. Okay, so right here, we're probably not going to like one turn it like we did on the previous rotation as we just saw. But, well, actually, you know what? We might. I don't know, man. The Ginyu Force team is just so crazy that, I mean, even though it's been like almost a year, because the Ginyu celebration was right after the 7th year anniversary on JP, and on JP they are approaching the 8th year anniversary. So yeah, Ginyu is almost a year old, and he is still just, in terms of damage and defense, I think this guy really does still hold up, and just his team in general is really insane. So, I mean, honestly, I don't think this guy is aged bad at all. I still think he's probably just as good as he was on day 1. I think for sure, maybe if you bring him in Super Battle Road, turn 1, he can get kind of destroyed, especially in Extreme Super Battle Road with some of the difficult stages now and just how difficult they've gotten. But other than that, this guy does not really have any weaknesses. This guy still is, he's gonna be crazy. So, Alright, unfortunately, we are killing on this rotation, so we're not going to have that much time to stack. So, I guess we'll see how well Captain Ginyu is taking type disadvantage from Cell Max with only one super. So, this is going to be pretty interesting. Our defense is 511k. I did actually bring the Extreme Planet Namek support item too, just to make him look a little bit better, so we can fare up in here. But yeah, I mean, 511k defense is pretty good. I don't think we're gonna survive here. I think it's pretty safe to say we're dead. I'll throw him in slot 1, but we're probably just gonna get supered and die right off the bat. So I hope we don't get supered before we super attack, because I want to see if he can take double digits, of course, if we get our supers off. So before we super attack, we were taking 175k damage per normal. So that's a lot of damage for sure. I mean, that's a lot. But let's see how well he tanks after he super attacks. We did get 2 off as well. Can we get a third? Because if we get a third, I think we'll probably take at least under 100k per normal, which that's pretty good. Oh, okay. Double digits. And we didn't even get the third super off. So yeah, we're dead right here. 1.5 million damage. But double digits from Cell Max. And we only had, what, 3 supers? Okay, I mean, that's really impressive. I'm going to call it at that because if this guy is taking double digits from Cell Max with 3 super attacks, I'm sure you could only imagine how much damage he would be tanking from, like, Broly and Omega Shenron with, like, more super attacks. Like, he won't take that much damage is what I'm trying to say. So, I mean, overall, I think this guy is aged extremely well. His only weakness right now, I would say, is taking him in shorter events like Super Battle Road, because turn 1, he's only around 300k defense, which is just not good enough in those types of stages. But, of course, in Red Zone, the Cell Max event, and, the legendary events, he could still have a use. I think Cell Max is a little different, though, because he has type disadvantage, so actually maybe he won't be the most useful there, because he did still take 1.5 million damage from a super, but you do have to keep in mind he took double digits damage from his normals, and he has type disadvantage. So, yeah, that has been the video, though. Let me know what you guys think of this Ginyu down in the comments, and I'll catch y'all in the next one.